Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your Timeless Chakra Reading. I am your reader, at least for the moment, Mark Angelo Lyons. MAL for short, they are my initials. I'm a professional witch, a professional intuitive, author of 2 different books with a 3rd one in process. You can find my ebooks on my website, DrawingTheCircle.com, or you can find them in the digital shop on patreon.com/DrawingTheCircle. In our digital shop, it's so cool over there. We got audios and videos, free previews for the audios and videos. Anybody can check them out and shop as they like. I do love my Patreon. My patrons have been so supportive these past couple of years, helping me get my work out into the world. I love them so much. One of them, as a matter of fact, designed my new website. It's just lovely. So there is a link in the description box. If you want to click it, you can check out the menu. You can follow for free. You can 7-day free trial. You can shop in the shop. So much cool stuff going on. So if you find yourself interested or just curious, check it out and come play Patreon on Patreon with the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, and you could just call me Mal. Hey gems, hope you are outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous. Let's get down to business, but first let's do some explanation for the new Geminis and crosswatchers who might be visiting the channel. We are doing a simple timeless chakra reading, so it's not one card for each chakra. So we're doing what's called a 6-card draw, 1 card from 6 different decks to get you clues, tips, and hints about your healing process, your energy work, your coming into alignment, taking inspiration down into manifestation, into the physical world, maybe healing stuff from the physical world up through the chakras. So let's get into it. We are going to get 1 card from the Caroline Myss archetype cards for the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra, which hovers over the head about that high, which acts like a satellite, sending down codes to all the other chakras underneath it, shifting what you attract and what you repel, so you have the free will to no longer delay what cannot be prevented in your healing alignment process, whatever you want to call it. We will then look at the next 4 chakras down: the crown, the 3rd eye, the throat, and the heart, with the daughters of the moon. And I use the daughters of the moon because it is the internal feminine energy, the goddess energy on the inside, and this is definitely a feminist goddess deck, which I've been reading longer than any other deck in my rather long career of being a reader. We will look at the lower 3 chakras, the masculine yang dynamic, looking at yourself from the outside like in a mirror, maybe you from the inside looking out at people, places, and things in the physical world. With cross-watchers, there could be mirroring involved, and we will be using the Mythic Tarot, another one of my favorite tarot decks based in Greek mythology, probably my favorite thing on planet Earth. That will take care of all the chakras from 8th down to the root. So then we will get a whisper from the Whispers of Love Oracle by Angelo Hartfield, dedicated to the higher selves of all involved, not just the Geminis and the crosswatchers, but anybody else who might be involved. We will then get 1 card from the chakra reading cards by Rachel. It could be Rochelle Sharman, Rockpool Publishing. This one does have a bookie book with it, but they're so long. I'm just trying to keep these readings a little bit briefer since I moved from Holbrook, Long Island, New York to Saratoga Springs, New York. All of my readings have become timeless. Maybe I'll get back to doing other stuff, but we shall see. So we'll get one of those to kind of pinpoint, start here, little clue, little tip, a little hint chakra wise. And of course, as all of my readings do, this one's got a Matt Kahn healing mantra, and I've said it before and I will say it again: air signs have a particular edge with mantras and affirmations and breath work, anything that's element of air. And this is a healing read. All of my readings are healing readings, but certainly bringing your own energy field into alignment in a time of such chaos on planet Earth could be helpful for anyone who watches any of my readings. And there's our explanation. Let's do the divination, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will, and I promise I will help anyone within my power to do their own alchemy, from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxicity to health, shifting them from fear to love and illusion to truth, in a time where we are able to not just heal ourselves, but through quantum unity help everyone heal. As one of us heals, all of us heals, little by little by little. Let's do this, shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Beloved pantheons override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. Beloved pantheons of the divine, 1 card in clarity, please, For the Geminis and the cross-watchers, what is the dominant 8th chakra archetype to indicate the spiritual alchemy from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxicity to health, and fear to love for this timeless read? Ooh, the Samaritan archetype. This is a divine family archetype, so this is about your spiritual power. Written on the card is a shadow attribute and a light attribute. I consider this lead and this gold, 3 atoms here that have to be released, transformed, healed, forgiven, whatever you want to call it, in order to get to the gold. So, the shadow attribute. Exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Not fun to deal with. I don't really have the Samaritan archetype all that much, but you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or be dealing with someone who has this archetype, a reason, season, or a lifetime in a general read. So the gold or the light refines your capacity to help those that you would prefer to ignore. And sure, we all have people that we would prefer to ignore, but are we willing to help them? That's the T. And sometimes that can be done from a distance, right? Blessing, prayer work, healing, whatever. So it's a good start. The Samaritan, based on the Good Samaritan, obviously, from the New Testament, and I am a witch who has studied all sorts of spiritual traditions, so I know of which I speak. Now, let's look at the next 4 chakras down. Crown, third eye, throat, and heart, the daughters of the moon. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My beloved goddesses override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. You get back in there. Put all where it belongs. In time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. My beloved goddesses, please one card in clarity for the Geminis and the cross-watchers. What's going on? Heart, third eye, crown, internal dynamic to help them alchemize the Samaritan for this timeless chakra read. Okay, you got a court card. Let's talk about it. This is Pasoe, White Buffalo Woman, the Crone of Pentacles. That is a cardinal earth, so this would be the Capricorn card. If you have any planets in Capricorn, I do not, but I do have it in my 6th house because I am Leo rising. So even if you don't have any planets in Capricorn, look at your natal chart, see where it lands. It can sometimes make a general read more specific. Regardless, though, even if you don't or are dealing with someone who has no planets in Capricorn, 10th house dynamic. Highest potential, hard work, boundaries, ruled by Saturn, the ringed planet. In other words, it's the planet of boundaries and the teacher. And Kronos, Saturn's name in Greek is Kronos, Kronos, the god of time, and one of the Titans, the father of the Olympians. So that's why, the mountain goat, right? Climbing up a mountain to reach our highest potential. It's usually a hard slog. There are some times where we get to rest, or maybe, we get an easier climb every now and again, but that's for everyone on planet Earth. And if we want to see this world transform, for the better, we can all play our role individually, even if we don't tell anybody about it, although with Geminis, they do like to express themselves, 3rd house. Now, I will say for sure here that a highest potential on the inside, particularly with an earth element on the inside, that is about wisdom that you have gained. So you've already got some pretty strong, stable, creative earth, cardinal earth, creativity, things that you've already created here, and possibly a service that you have here that as the Samaritan, you're like, I don't want to deal with them, but I guess I gotta. Everybody gets there sooner or later. I'm a Virgo, so I don't really want to serve everyone on planet Earth a lot of times, but the majority of the time, I look at that within myself, and I say a prayer, I do a meditation, and I ask for the guidance and grace, and then I just do my best, because that's all anybody can do. Let's look from the inside out, outside in with the Mythic Tarot. I love this deck so much. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My beloved gods override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. Whoops. So let it be done. A little slippery today, Geminis. My beloved gods, please, one card in clarity, lower 3 chakra dynamic, outside in, inside out relationships in the physical world for the Geminis and the cross watchers. What do they need to be aware of to alchemize the Samaritan archetype in the 8th for this Timeless Chakra reading? Ooh, another Earth card, Ace of Pentacles. So you are getting a new opportunity here. This is Poseidon starting off the entire suit of Pentacles, which is the myth of Daedalus. He's the one who had the son Icarus, made the wings, flew too high, created a Led Zeppelin album cover as a result of it. Some of you know what I mean, some of you don't. So look, when it's an ace, it's a potential, it's a seed, like a healthy acorn. You can plant it and grow an oak tree that will shed billions of acorns over its life cycle. Whether this is coming from you out into the world or to you from the outside in, certainly this might be something you might want to ignore or want to exact appreciation, like when people make anonymous donations and you see anonymous donation by and then they say their name. It's like, what is that? It like implodes the whole thing. It's a bit of a paradox. I prefer my docs in singulars, not pairs. So yeah, look, this is a very earth heavy read so far. All the chakras are on the table here, so this is about wisdom, but I feel like you got the goods for it, right? As long as you're willing to slow and steady wins the race on this one and really use the wisdom you've already acquired, you can certainly do this wisely and well with the wisdom you already have. Lovely. Let's ask your higher selves what's going on here. A little whisper of love goes a long way. Please take a nice deep breath. The breath work is so important, man. Still point. Beloved higher selves override. The place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all and with harm to none as we will it, so let it be done. Beloved higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love, the piece of information, inspiration, and insight needed by the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers to help them alchemize the Samaritan archetype in the 8th chakra for this Timeless Chakra read? Ask for help. Now, how interesting, right? Refines your capacity to help those that you would prefer to ignore. And maybe you need some help, but you'd rather ignore that you need some help. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins known as hubris. And interestingly enough, the deadly sin of the 8th chakra, the 4th chakra, the root chakra, I'm getting my numbers confused, please don't make me do math, right? And the grace of reverence is the healer for that. Caroline Mace's book, Defy Gravity, just unbelievably powerful, life-changing work. So, what is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need, and maybe you can be asking for help to help someone you would prefer to ignore. So in a general read, that tracks, I mean, in all sorts of different ways. When our pride gets in the way and we don't ask for help, and we don't want to do it with people on the outside, we can be very private people, right, in general. You can always ask the divine. So asking for help, even if it's in prayer or in meditation, spell work, intentional work, whatever, help, you know, the faster you do that, the less, you know, in dire straits, because money's for nothing and checks for free. Let's get the chakra card here. Also, I dedicated this deck to the higher selves of all involved. Let's see what hits the table. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Higher selves override. Beloved higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, please, what is the perfect and precise chakra reading card to help the Geminis and the cross watchers to focus or maybe start on one particular chakra here to help them alchemize the Samaritan archetype in the 8th chakra for this Timeless Chakra read? Oh, wow, truth. Now this one is certainly looking a bit of third eye to me, although I don't think that's the symbol of Ajna, the third eye, so I'm pretty sure because of the color blue sapphire here instead of indigo, we are looking at throat chakra. Now look, If you don't want to see lies, illusions, deceptions, and delusions in the world, you must speak truth. Even if you don't know what the truth is, you can say, okay, I accept and I confess I don't know what the truth is, so help me, higher powers, whatever that means to you, so that I can help myself here and help others. And I will tell you this, there is no healing without truth. It's just the way it is. And someone can believe something is true, like the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, but it doesn't. Planet turns on an axis, folks, so that is an optical illusion, right? So there's all sorts of illusions that we believe, like I'm not good enough. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, one of the first couple of metaphysical books I read back in the 80s. I've been doing this. I'm going to be 56 in a couple of months. I've been doing this for a very long time. Yeah, I know it. I'll look at thank you, Saint Retinol, the patron saint of repairing wrinkles rapidly. Truth is so important, and it's okay to not know what the truth is. We are all incarnating from a higher dimension into this world with the illusion of separation, where we have truth and illusion. And if you watch some near-death experience videos here on YouTube, you will see that all of that falls away, and then they come back, right? And they're changed forever. So truth and healing. The truth is when you want to ignore somebody, and this is just my experience, you take this for what it's worth. If there's someone I really don't want to deal with, I usually look within myself and say, okay, what's going on? And usually there's a mirror. Yes, mirroring is a thing, but it's not always the mirror of now, which means what you see is what you get, right? You're feeling good things happen, oh, it's the mirror of now, and vice versa, right? Not having such a good day, everything goes, right? But there's also the mirror of judgment. So judgment, in my experience, is this nugget of intuition of gold with a thin lead veneer around it. And because we don't want to be judgmental, we push it down. And therefore, we don't make the wisest choices that we can make. Instead, you allow yourself to feel the judgment and let it move through you, and you alchemize that thin veneer of lead, and the golden intuition comes to you in this opportunity. But certainly asking for help, there is no crime, there's no sin in asking for help from someone or a higher power or whatever, right? Even a divinatory experience like tarot and oracles and stuff is still a way of asking for help. So there's so many different creative ways of doing that, and you have a very creative card here with that Capricorn on the inner. Last card down. Healing mantras. I have said it before, I will say it again. It's really important, at least I tell my clients, right? They check in with me 48 hours after the session, whether it's a spiritual counseling or half and half with a reading in there. Sometimes it's all of that and a side of fries. So 48 hours later, I'm like, so how's the mantra going? And they're like, oh, I didn't do it. It's like, well, this is the thing that you can actually implement, and it is free to do so, right? So let's see what hits the table. The Ascended Masters are in charge of this deck, so let's see what they say. Please take a nice deep breath. I love this. Still point. Beloved Ascended Masters, override. Oh, place for everything and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all, and with harm to none as we will it. So let it be done. My beloved Ascended Masters, please, one card in clarity, the perfect and precise healing mantra to assist the Gemini Collective and their cross-watchers in alchemizing the Samaritan in the 8th, Capricorn on the inner, Ace of Pentacles on the outer, asking for help and truth for, I'll take that one, for this Timeless Chakra Reading. Receiving elation, I am born of infinite joy. So this is about your soul. So look, if you're not enjoying yourself, this is a very, very powerful emotional thing, but it can also bring up wisdom of what you have been through before climbing up the mountain to keep you going. I love this mantra. So receiving elation, right? We're more than willing to give it, but are we willing to receive it? So, like sometimes doing this kind of work, I get a little burned out. And I'm like, oh, I'm just so tired. I want to do something else. So I go out and garden and yard work and stuff like that. I have a half acre of property now, so there's plenty of that to do. My garden is really lovely. And it's year 1. Like by year 10, it'll be like, paradise here. So, to ask for help in this way with this mantra, I am born of infinite joy. By the way, we all are. When elation is received, joy becomes your natural state of being. And even Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now, brilliant book, says that joy is the core of who we are, but we've got lots of layers of stuff on top of it that may make us want to sort of avoid and ignore certain people, places, and things. You are aligning with the ecstatic nature of the universe to live each moment with renewed passion and purpose. Elation helps you enjoy your human journey as it is right now without projecting your fulfillment onto the anticipation of future pending outcomes, which is what we do because we make assumptions. There you go, 4 agreements. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd agreement. Don McElroy's wonderful book. A lot of people have read it, not everybody practices it. That's why the 4th one is do your best. To be like, okay, I think this will make me happy. And that's usually the ego, right? Instead of allowing yourself to be that happy and that joy that you are, you make it conditional. But the way the ego works, as soon as it gets that thing, it has like 30 seconds of happiness and then it wants the next thing. Just saying. This mantra is ideal for increasing the flow of creative inspiration. There you go. Elevating the immune system, who couldn't use that, and being more present. Because, well, we only have now. That's all we have, right? The past you have to imagine to remember. The future you can only kind of like visualize. You have no idea. Jumping timelines all day long. So what a wonderful opportunity to really ground truth and take from that truth wisdom that you can apply and perhaps help someone in the situation that really, it's written into your contract, you can delay, but how many times you want to keep reincarnating to do this stuff? I'm trying to make this my last time around. There are other places I would like to visit in this ever-expanding universe. You know what I mean? I think you did. Okay, we're now going to do a blessed summation. It's how I handle my readings, even with clients, for the most part. Combination of a blessing and a summation. The energy just comes through me. The words float on the top. So let's see what comes out my mouth, shall we? Please take a nice deep breath one last time. Right? Oh, here we go. Still point. May we end as we began. Beloved pantheons of the divine override. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine on behalf of the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns, and Crosswatchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. May they be blessed with all that they need to alchemize the Samaritan archetype, refining their capacity to help those they would prefer to ignore, and maybe the things within themselves they would prefer to ignore, with this Capricorn 10th house energy of highest potential, step by step, climbing the mountain, getting to the peak. Then they look back and they see the larger picture as a result of an Ace of Pentacles opportunity coming to them or from them that maybe opened up a whole can of worms for them. And may they remember to ask for help, help them ask for help. What is it that they really need help with? May they be willing to allow themselves the support that they need with truth. In that throat chakra, sometimes they gotta chew away a little bit of that illusion to get to the juicy truth core there so that they can receive the elation that is who they really are, because they are born of infinite joy. And may they be blessed pantheons of the divine with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to come into alignment, to manifest their highest destiny for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser life. In a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world for all of us, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So would it be. So it is. It does make sense with that truth card, the throat chakra. It's very air sign. It's the 3rd house, Gemini, communication. So speak your truth. But, you know, His Holiness the Dalai Lama said that truth without compassion is brutality. And I was raised by a teacher and a lawyer, so I can rip somebody's face off with the truth. I just try not to. Everybody treats others the way they were treated until they heal and know better. It's just how it is. So treat others the way you want to be treated. Golden rule, blah, 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 karma, shmarma, whatever you want to call it. but certainly this is a very, very powerful and I would say very, very Gemini read. So if you found it helpful, please hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this is a worthy video to be seen by other people, and I think this would be helpful for a lot of people, Gemini or cross watchers. If you want more of me here on YouTube, please subscribe. I have another YouTube channel. This is Angelo Lyons. This is the professional. I also have Mal for short. That's the personal. Cat videos, my own spiritual take on things, and no divination at all on that channel. So there's a link in the description box for my other YouTube channel if you want to check it out. But if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon. On Patreon, the digital shop alone is worth it. I love that we have free previews on there. They keep giving us cool stuff to do. Some of my subscribers get those audios, videos, and or ebooks depending upon their level of subscription. They all get a daily check-in from me pretty much every single day. I send them a video link and we chat with each other. It's really, really cool. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. All of my extended readings are timeless and relationship oriented, twin flame, soulmate, true love, all of that. And they also get an extensive discount when they book me for a private session. We will talk about that in a minute. But seriously, I love Patreon. It's one of my favorite things. And actually, one of my patrons, a Taurus, actually designed my new website. So we're a lovely community over there. Everyone's really having a good time, and I'm having a good time serving them as the Virgo that I am. Because, you know, Geminis, we're both ruled by Mercury. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Retrogrades. Yeah, if you want to book me for a private session, I did make a video last year when I was living in Holbrook, Long Island, before I moved to Saratoga Springs, New York, and it's called Booking Private Sessions with Mal. Explains pretty much everything that you need to know about booking me for a spiritual counseling, a reading, or a half and half. I will make a new one because, for example, now I have an office in my house downstairs. It's lovely. So I am taking clients, but I get to kind of get to know who the person is first. Like, are you allergic to cats? I have 3 black cats who shed all year long. So, you know, bring an EpiPen. We'll talk about it. As well as I'm available for private sessions at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs. You call them. They tell you what I have available. You book something. They tell me you booked, and then I come in. I read you, and then I come home and I take care of the cats and garden and do stuff like this. The video also explains the Patreon discount, what I charge, why I charge it if I'm traveling. Like if somebody wants me to do a party states away, that's all figured out already. You know, now I am doing a majority of video reads, but the way I do a video read is once the client is booked, 5 minutes before we start, I send them a Zoom link. They come into my Zoom platform, re-record the whole thing so they don't have to memorize anything or take notes. It's a conversation. They see every single card hit the table as I do it. And then at the end of the reading, I send them a link. They download the entire thing. They tell me they download it and I delete it from the Zoom cloud so only they have it, because that's really important to me, confidentiality. But the most important thing I say in that video, and I will make a new one called Booking Mal, I change the title each time, I've never turned anybody away because of lack of money, ever. I won't do it. That violates my honor code. Even if they can't, right? I'm like, all right, I'd rather not, but no, I always want to do this. This is what I came in to do in this life. This is one of my healing modalities as a reader and a spiritual counselor. So I'm going to keep this video up, that video up even when the new one is made, because it makes my mom laugh, and honestly, that's enough reason for me. So thank you so much for watching. I will say there is something very mercurial about this. I do, I don't, I will, I won't, rah, 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 rah. So remember, ask for help, and you can certainly go to the divine, whatever you call it, and say, may I see the truth of this situation within and without. And that's a good way to start moving up that Capricorn hill so that you get to the top of the mountain and then you can see more clearly. So thank you so very much for watching. It is my honor, it is my pleasure to serve. So wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed with the rest of whatever this may mean to you. And I believe in you. Hang in there. I believe you have this. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.